Hello, this is the GPS Insight Podcast, and I'm your host, Carla Wardin. We're talking to experts about everything to do with fleet and field. From telematics to dash cams to GPS tracking to today's issues, we're exploring what's going on in our industry together. Thanks for listening. Hello, I'm Carla Wardin on the GPS Insight Podcast, and today I'm here with Ray Kosick, and he is our product manager. Hi, Ray.
Hello.
Tell me about your job. Tell me what you do here at GPS Insight.
So I'm product manager. Recently, I have changed to being product manager of just hardware, but previously I was product manager of hardware, of all hardware, of our safety features and our compliance ELD.
How long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been at GPS Insight since 2008. I've been in product since I think 2019, maybe late 2019, early 2020.
Okay, since you've been here that long, you probably know everything, right? Like people come to you and ask you about various things that they don't know about.
I wouldn't say I know everything, that's for sure. But from a hardware and operations perspective, I do know quite a bit, that's for sure. I started out on the operations side of things when I first got here, and there was like 20 or whatever of us in the office, and built out the support team and the fulfillment teams and all that stuff. And so I do have my hand in that quite a bit still in these days, just understanding that process.
When you say in the office, were you actually physically in the office?
Yeah, back then, we were always in the office, that's for sure.
How about now? Do you work from home now?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay,
majority of the time at least.
it looks like you're at home. Tell me about your medals on the wall.
So before kids, I used to run races a lot. I'd run road races, like I'd run like 200-mile relay races. I'd run 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons. I have not done a full marathon yet. That's still on the to-do list, but yeah.
I like how you say before kids, like when I had time to myself and just stretches of early morning Saturdays.
It's totally, but when I had the energy.
I'm also a runner, and so I immediately saw that on the wall. I was like, have to ask
Yeah.
about that. What are some of your successes at work that you've had over all of your years at GPS Insight?
I don't know. I'd say the thing is on the product side, I don't know if I necessarily have successes. I think my success is being able to coordinate a bunch of other teams and people to work together, right? I think that's the biggest challenge, and also the biggest success, like when you can actually get something out there and something new, or you fix something that's huge and bugging everybody. Previous to that, I'd say I I've been here long enough. I think, my biggest success is just seeing this company grow from when I first joined it, right? Um, Seeing from where we came to where we are today, and knowing that I had a really big hand in that, and that seems like a pretty big success to me.
It is. It is so great when you are there at the beginning of a company and seeing it like through all the stages of its growth, toddler, adolescent, teenager, adult.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say there's definitely different stages. I'm happy that I've been able to stick around and like progress through the changes too, which is something that not a lot of people are capable of doing, and I've seen a lot of people come and go through the times. And so everyone gets stuck in this startup phase, and they're like, oh, it's so much fun to be in the startup, and you do all this different stuff, and we're quite well past that, but still being able to find enjoyment in the challenges and the stuff day to day, that I'm pretty proud of that.
That is great. You mentioned hardware. Can you talk to me about the state of hardware for our company and what we're doing in 2023?
Yeah, so we have a lot of hardware. From GPS Insight, we were able to consolidate, and then we brought on Rhino and Street Eagle, and they each had their own individual hardware sets, and they still actually do today. And then last year we purchased CTS, and they've got their whole slate of hardware. So right now we have, I think I was doing the list. We have something like 45 different individual device types that we sell among all the different platforms. Um, which is, in a way, it's good because it means that we solve for a lot of challenges. And when we get opportunities and sales that comes to us and says, hey, can we do this, this, and this? Our answer is yeah, we have this, we have this, we have this. But I think that the future is going to be, we want to try to consolidate. We want to try to pare that down so it's not so um it's not so overbearing, particularly from a sales standpoint. Sales needs to understand, well, what are we actually shipping? What are they going to get? What does it do? And then from an operations and support standpoint, like, how do we actually work with this device versus this device? And if we have two devices that are, almost identical, but they have slight differences, those slight differences actually mean a world in terms of the operation side of things, different configurations, different stuff like that. So, in the next 6 months to a year, what we really want to do is pare that down. We want to try to take what is GPS Insight, Street Eagle, Rhino, CTS. We want to take all of that and just say, okay, what is the hardware we're selling as GPS Insight, the entire organization? And that's kind of where we're wanting to get to.
That does seem like a good goal, and sounds like you'll have it all done in 6 months. So good job.
I don't know about that. I think right now the goal is really just to come out of this quarter and say, okay, this is the stuff that we want to get rid of. This is the stuff we want to do, and then we'll figure out that roadmap.
I actually was in the office recently and was looking at the hardware tables because, we're a software company, but there's a lot of hardware involved. And so they were interspersed among orchids, and it was really a beautiful spot.
Yeah, that whole area has grown tremendously since we've acquired those other companies. Before I moved to product, I was fulfillment and procurement manager, and so we used to just have that one little section, and now you go in there and it's just completely blown out. They've taken over like 3 different areas. They've got tables everywhere. It's nuts, the amount of work that they do over there. I think the last interview I watched actually was with you and Mitch Wasser. And I can tell you, man, the amount of work that he's put in to run that team is pretty amazing, knowing that I used to run it. So it's pretty nice.
It was great. Yes. When I went there, I got to meet him in real life. So that was also nice.
Yeah.
When you have a job like yours that the end customer might not always know what you're doing, how do you make a difference for the customers? What are you doing for them that they don't know about?
I think a lot of it ends up speaking to the coordination in the background. You know, the way I've heard it referenced before is like, you want to try to be like a commander, and you have all the other people around you that they know more, they do more, right? And you want to try to coordinate them to be able to do the best that we need to do, and fix the things that need to be done efficiently, and make sure that the other people know what's being done. So trying to say like, hey, we have this new feature that's coming out. Work with development, work with hardware engineering, get that feature built out, then work with the sales team, work with the marketing team and the documentations team, say, hey, this is the new feature. Go do your thing to make it great and for us to be able to sell it. If there's a bug that's out there, or if there's something that's really impacting customers on a negative side, I want to be able to take that information that we've accrued from the customers, work with work through that same flow, and just say, all right, let's work with the development team, the hardware engineering team. Let's work with the people that know what to do to fix it. Sometimes it means coordinating with our third-party vendors as well. All the hardware that we have means we also have vendors that we have to work with all the time. Really trying to coordinate and say, all right, this is what we need to do. This is what we're getting done. And doing your best to try to communicate what's happening. That's both a struggle, and also like something that we continue to try to strive to get better at. But trying to make sure that the communication is there, whether it's communicating to the account rep or the support rep to say to the customer, hey, this is what's happening, this is what we're doing. all of that stuff. I think that all happens in the background, and sometimes it might get lost with our customers, or even our direct sales reps or our direct account reps, because they may go a week or 2 weeks and they might not hear anything, and that's something we're trying to work harder on, is that communication piece. But if they don't hear something, that doesn't mean that we're not doing anything. We're still working in the background and trying to solve for whatever it is that we're trying to solve for.
I know that some companies give people like cutesy job titles, but I don't know why they didn't choose commander for yours rather than product.
Yeah.
Not so bad.
I'll throw it in there one day. We'll see what happens. In times past, when we were a small organization, you could see people went a bit nuts with some titles that they would give themselves randomly, and it was sometimes funny to see.
Yes, I've worked at lots of companies where you just make up your own title, and sometimes funny, sometimes cringy.
Yeah.
And since you've been here for a while, based on our products and our service, what sets GPS Insight apart from other companies?
You know what? I would say that it's everyone's drive to want to make us the best company or the best product out there, right? GPS Insight has always prided itself on being not one of like the middle of the road companies that we just we do this and this just kind of half-ass, right? Like we want to be able to provide some of the best product out there. You look at what we provide from, let's say, a safety standpoint in the hardware. Driver Eye is it's considered the best safety camera on the market, right? We've sold CalAmp hardware. We just recently onboarded GeoTab. Both of those are considered some of the top tier telematics hardware that you can find in the market as well. So on a hardware standpoint, that's the same. From a product standpoint on the platform, we strive to be one of the best out there. And when you have discussions with people on the account or on the account rep side, the customer service side, everyone wants to make what it is that they're doing the best possible. And I think that's something that has always been around. Everyone just strives to make us the best. We don't like just accepting normal, really.
Yes. No mediocrity. We're going for superior excellence.
Right. Sometimes that can be a hindrance too, because then everyone's working to perfection on something, and then you end up not releasing something because you're fixing every little thing. And sometimes you can have that discussion with the higher ups, and they'll be like, well, just get it out there. But overall, I think it's a good thing versus a bad thing.
Besides what you're doing for work in 2023, what are you doing in your home and personal life?
So I have two kids, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. They pretty much run my life these days as it stands right now. I'd say I just don't have much time for much else. If it was years past, I'd say, I used to enjoy running or, going out and traveling and doing a bunch of stuff. Still try to travel during the summer, but ultimately it's just making sure the kids are happy and going places and doing things like that. That's the bulk of my life.
They are the best entertainment, in my opinion.
Yes. And they're also really good at making you want to go to sleep at like 8:30.
Yes, it is strange how early you go to bed when you need to get up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Again, I'm Carla Wardin with the GPS Insight podcast, and I'm here talking with Ray Kosick, product manager. Thanks so much.